From Palermo we sailed away, and by the end of the day, we reached a new city which turned out quite pretty, and there we decided to stay. We left Palermo in the middle of the day and began the trip to Cefalu. We had heard that Cefalù is a beautiful medieval town with stunning views and a good anchorage, which sounded all right to us. The wind was weak, but we decided to sail rather than have to listen to the thrum of the engine. Aladino tried fishing, and after being inspired by the delicious cuisine of Sicily, I tried to pretend that I am a fancy chef. It's really been such relaxing sailing. We're just moving along at a nice comfortable speed and the boat is basically sailing itself.
6:30 p.m. here, and we're still 50 nautical miles out, but winds have died down pretty much.
Fish! Woohoo! Fishy! Just rolled in the Genoa.
Yeah.
We let the main sheet out to slow down. Oh, how does it feel?
It was really powerful at first, and I thought, what the heckers, I got my swordfish now, but now it's already a lot less. But still, I think we got fish for dinner.
This is so exciting! Damn it, and I bought tofu at the store today.
What do you think it is? Tuna?
I hope it's a tuna.
I think it's a tuna.
Ooh, that would be very exciting.
Oh no.
Oh no, is it gone?
I think it's gone.
No! Sadly. It's okay, amore.
Good,
we have tofu!
Wow.
We can have tofu for dinner.
Wow, it's so exciting.
Aladino is so happy.
It's okay. I learned to live with it. No, of course. Next one.
Next one.
Next one.
Okay. We sat in the cockpit together and we watched an Anthony Bourdain episode about Sicily, which was so good. So after watching that Anthony Bourdain episode, I'm feeling inspired to get creative in the kitchen, so I'll show you what I'm up to. So this is a serpentine Sicilian zucchini. I've never cooked with it before. It looks really fun, but I thought I'd try it. It seems a little bit drier maybe than a zucchini, but I'm gonna just use it as I would a regular zucchini and see what happens. I'm just kind of making things up as I go, but I think I'm going to put it all into this tin foil and then cook it over the stove along with some garlic, which I'm going to press, and also some lemon zest and some rosemary. So this is actually the rosemary that we picked off of a little island in Sardinia. Oh, that smell is so heavenly. But as I made dinner, the wind slowly disappeared along with the day.
So we have two options: or we drift at 2 knots, which I think the wind is about to die completely, so we drift all night, even if it's just 50 nautical miles. If we're going 1.5 knots, we might get there tomorrow morning, which honestly we could. I think I am turning on the engine, unfortunately, but that's making it a 2-hour trip, and we could still arrive with daylight then, so I think we chose that option. Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. It's really nice. Try it. sorry it's so much harder to speak now that the engine is on. It's very unpleasant, but now I'm chopping up an onion for the saffron rice that I'm about to make.
So I can already say that Maya, she is the rice queen and the tofu boss, because I've had tons of tofu and rice prepared by her. And I was very surprised and amazed by the saffron, especially what it added to the rice. It is something quite special.
So sometimes I like plain chef, and this is the result today. So we have saffron rice, and then here we have grilled tofu with a apricot and white wine sauce.
Wow.
There we go.
It looks incredible. The yellow and the orange looks really good.
Tastes good too.
Yeah, we play cards?
Yeah. Wanna come play rummy?
Yeah.
Yeah? I dealt your hand.
Okay, coming.
The sun set beautifully over the horizon, and we were left to finish our journey in the dark. Cefalu appeared gorgeous even in the night, with its iconic church and steep cliffs illuminated with strong lights, as if the entire town is a museum exhibit that has been expertly staged. I just woke up, it's very late, we really slept in. But yesterday was just such a lovely evening. I made that really nice dinner, we played cards, it was a beautiful sunset, and then we arrived in Cefalu at dark. And we actually anchored around the corner from the proper town, because when we got to the town we were going to anchor right in front of it. It looked gorgeous, but there was all this swell coming into the anchorage and we could see all the other boats just rolling. We really didn't feel like another night like that, so we went around the corner and had a very peaceful night. The boat didn't move too much. But today I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Maybe we will move around and anchor in front of the town, but we'll see. Aladino is still slowly working on getting awake. I made some orange juice and some coffee to kickstart the day, and then we pulled up anchor and decided to re-anchor right in front of the main town.
Very busy.
Trying to figure out where to leave the dinghy. It's not so easy.
I think we'll just go straight towards the beach.
To the beach? Alright. Here's our dinghy. Definitely not as cute as the one that we're next to, but got a pretty sweet little spot to tie up. August in Italy is always a casino, as the Italians say, which basically means a crowded and disorganized hubbub. Cefalu is far too beautiful a gem to be exempt from the crowds of tourists who descend on the defenseless Italian waterfront every August. But as we've slowly discovered, visiting a tourist hotspot isn't necessarily a bad thing either. I think that when you're a tourist, there's a tendency to complain about other tourists, as if they're ruining the local vibe, and wouldn't it be better if they all went away, the irony being, of course, that you're also a tourist. But the fact is that many of these coastal towns simply wouldn't exist in the same way without the support from tourist money every summer. We visited local art shops owned by talented artists whose livelihoods are paid for by tourists buying postcards and prints. We tasted delicious gelato made fresh every day because the demand from tourists means it doesn't sit around for long. Locals have opened gorgeous restaurants and hotels. They've proudly maintained their local churches and monuments, and the beaches are always kept clean. Yes, there's always pros and cons to everything, and there's also different kinds of tourism. But I have far less against local tourism than I did before. I think it's wonderful that a place as gorgeous as Cefalu is able to support itself just by allowing other people to come and appreciate just how gorgeous it is. And so we wandered around like happy little tourists, content to feel like foreigners because, well, we are. One highlight of Cefalu is a medieval laundromat, fed by a stream that runs out into the ocean. So this laundry place is from the medieval time, and it's free to walk into. It's just off the little road that runs parallel to the beach, and you walk down these steps coming in, and the moment you turn down the steps, the air just starts to feel cooler. It's really shady and it's got this really fresh kind of feeling to it. The water is beautifully clear. It's incredible. It says that you shouldn't drink it, but it looks so clean. I swear you probably could. Okay, so I think, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm hypothesizing, but this is obviously the pool of water where you would wash your clothes, and everyone has their own pool, so different people can come and wash their clothes all at once. And the pools are constantly being refreshed by this stream of water which comes in from these kind of lion head statues. And then, okay, Dini's demonstrating. This stone here is really rough, and I think this is probably what you would kind of like wring your clothes out on and like really scrub them on, and then rinse them again in the fresh water. Okay, Aladini. Oh, perfetto. Like a nonna did it. We also visited a free art exhibit by Fabrice Moirot. Pronunciation is questionable, a French watercolor painter who did a grand tour of Sicily, painting the sights as he went. That evening we moved the anchor to be even closer to the main town and spent a peaceful night on board. Our usual rhythm ever since our guests have left has been video editing and boat work in the afternoon, followed by land excursions in the evening.
I just opened the engine compartment to do a little bit of general maintenance, check the oil, and look what I found. I found the screw, which is just lying in there loose. And first I thought, maybe it's one I lost when working, but yeah, don't take those things for granted. After a little bit of closer inspection, I found the spot where it wiggled loose. This is actually from the engine mounts. So yeah, the engine's not very well supported and might vibrate to different places without it. So good, regular check. And I'll make sure it is in place again. Great. All of them are checked, back on and tightened. So good. Tension here is good. Still in place. Excellent. Alright, here we go. I have checked transmission oil, engine oil, I have tightened all the screws and there is no other screws left in the bilge. I have also checked the tension on the belts. One is for the impeller water pump and the other one is for the alternator. Tension is good. So now let's start the engine and see how it does.
However, sometimes the heat and the physical inactivity can lead to a little bit of grumpiness, mostly on my part.
Now we do a little take on side effects of editing for too long.
Yeah, oh my god, if you... Get that camera out of my face.
How do you feel about jumping in the water?
I feel great about it, and I'm going to go do that.
Sounds good. I think you should. Would you like some fruit?
Yes.
Here it is.
Thank you. But I have to first put things away a little bit.
Sounds good. How does that feel, little princess?
So good. Wow, why didn't I do this sooner? I love editing, for the record, but I always get a bit antsy after sitting still inside all day.
Good, we have the opportunity to jump out the balcony, no?
Yes, true. So after editing all day, we came to town. It feels so good to stretch my legs. After a few nights in this storybookish city, we decided to plot our next adventure. But there are so many options, so many places to see, so many stories which have played themselves out on these impressive cliffs and in these narrow pastel streets. As always, a giant thank you to our patrons. We've had a few new patrons join us this month, so special shout out to David Smith, Nicholas Young, Frederick DeBeck, Sebastian Ertel, Curtis May, Ole Stieg Jensen, Lois Blank, Hal, Frank, Chris Gredvig, John Watson, and Patrick Hewitt. If your name isn't listed, that's just because you hadn't signed up yet by the time I made this video. Don't worry, you'll be included in the future episodes. And like we do every week, I'd like to give a special thank you to these folks who really go above and beyond to make our productions possible. Until next time.